Arun was a farmer in a small village surrounded by dry fields. Every year, he relied on the rain to grow his crops and feed his family. But one year, the rains didn't come. Days turned into weeks, and the land turned into a desert. Arun's crops withered, and his neighbors began leaving the village to search for work in the city. Arun stayed behind, watching his fields turn to dust. He told himself, if I leave, who will take care of this land? There must be a way to bring it back to life. Arun began learning about how to save and use water wisely. He borrowed old tools from a friend and worked from sunrise to sunset, digging a small reservoir to collect rainwater. He spent weeks shaping the land to guide water into his fields during the rare rainstorms. At first, people laughed at him, saying he was wasting his time. But Arun didn't give up. After months of hard work, his efforts paid off. His crops began to grow again, even during the drought. His neighbors, inspired by his success, came to him for advice. Together, they built more reservoirs, and soon the entire village was thriving. Arun's determination saved not just his farm, but also the lives of many families in his community. May was a young artist living in the city. Her paintings were full of color and joy, and people loved her work. Painting was not just her job, it was her life. But one rainy evening, May was in a car accident. She survived, but her right hand, the hand she used to paint, was injured and couldn't move the same way anymore. May felt like her world had ended. For weeks, she sat in her small apartment, staring at her blank canvas. What's the point, she thought. I'll never paint again. One day, as she cleaned her room, she found an old brush. On a whim, she picked it up with her left hand. Her first strokes were shaky and uneven, and she almost gave up. But something inside her said, try again. May started practicing every day, teaching herself to paint with her left hand. It wasn't easy, and she made many mistakes, but she didn't stop. Over time, her paintings began to look different. They were full of raw emotions, pain, hope, and beauty. People started noticing her new style, and her work became more popular than ever. May learned that even when life changes everything, you can still find a new way to create and grow. Rahim was a boy in a small village torn apart by war. His school had been destroyed, and his teacher had left. Every day, he would walk through the rubble of the old school, remembering the lessons he used to enjoy. But instead of feeling defeated, Rahim decided to act. If I can't go to school, he thought, I'll learn in other ways. Rahim began collecting scraps of wood and metal from the ruins. He didn't have books, but he remembered the lessons his teacher had taught him. Using these scraps, he built small bridges over streams so that people in his village could cross safely. It wasn't easy. Sometimes the materials broke, and he had to start over. But Rahim didn't quit. His work caught the attention of a visiting aid worker who was amazed at the young boy's skill and determination. The worker helped Rahim get a scholarship to study in a nearby city. Years later, Rahim returned to his village, now an engineer, and started rebuilding homes and schools for his community. These stories of Arun, May, and Rahim show that hard times can push us to discover strength we didn't know we had. They remind us that even when life feels impossible, with hope and determination, we can overcome anything, whether it's reviving a dying farm, finding a new way to create art, or rebuilding a broken village. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow and make a difference. If you find this content helpful, please like and share it with your friends who might benefit from it, and subscribe to our channel for more videos.